I had a pretty good game, I thought, with the Sliver Queen aggro control deck. I was calling it the Queen's Army for a bit. Name's kind of silly, too long. It's a clunky name. I haven't thought of a really good name for it at all, so if anyone comes up with one, I'll be interested in hearing it. Anyway, my opponent's playing Azusa, lost but sucking. I'm playing Sliver Queen. This is my hand, and he's going first. Still, it's a great hand, so I kept. We'll see how this plays out. Unfortunately, he ramps up to Mystic, so I have less time against his Azusa than I would have preferred. So I went Hierarch here instead of Wayfarer. I would have liked to have gone Wayfarer and then have him play a second land and say go, and then strip, mind, and bought some time, but that's okay. So there he goes, ramp, ramp. And ramp. So he obviously has something awesome. So rather than trying to deal with whatever awesome thing he has after the fact, or mind twisting him for and crossing my fingers for 2, trying to hit it, instead I just go for the threat. The threat of MD, the Doctor Mana Drain. So I stand up the Mana Drain, and he wisely chooses not to walk into it, cycling his Karst and not casting anything. He's also playing well by swinging with everything. He's much better off trading mana dorks than I am, even if my guy had 1 power, which it doesn't. He certainly doesn't need to block. So no land here, but I use Command Tower to play the Wayfarer. Normally I would leave it up because it produces any color mana, but in this instance I didn't want to be hit by a strip mine, so I left Noble Hierarch in the sack land, specifically to avoid losing to strip mine. And look at that. Or Wasteland. Unfortunately for him, that does not get him through the Doctor. So I take some beats there, but this is fine. Because now we're playing Done Go. This is the game I want to be playing. So I really want to just go get Cradle here, but I can't afford to. I can't afford to get anything that could be wastelanded, and I can't afford to get anything that will prevent me from being able to mana drain. So I go get another sack land. And I know for sure that one of the lands that I'm going to get is a tropical island. That's the best land in this deck, other than specialty things like Cradle and Workshop, because of Quirion Ranger, and also because those are the deck's main colors. So he's actually laying a pretty good amount of beatdown, and he got that Mutavault too. Considering he's not casting anything with that mana drain, I mean, how good is that? Anyway, so I top that Quirion Ranger and go ahead and pick up my tropical island, fetch my tropical island rather, which allows me to get. I decide Cradle. I'm just going to let the manlands hit me. I need to develop, so I get Cradle and Ranger. And I was looking at making a play with Trinket Mage, but I can't do it, so I pass. So the thing here is, it looks like he should be able to play a Wasteland, kill my tropical island, cast a spell. But if he does that, I'm going to pick up the tropical island in response to the Wasteland and untap the Noble Hierarch. So I have a counter ready, either way. So he animates Village and Vault, putting even more pressure on me. He decides that he doesn't want to trade with my Quirion Ranger. Definitely a mistake. Not one that's going to affect the game, but this Ranger is incredibly useful for me. Well worth trading one of his guys for. And certainly he could have swung with Azusa. So, since he didn't do anything during his end step, I should have floated a blue there, but I guess I couldn't have done anything with it anyway, so I go ahead and go get the first of my strip mines. Now, I don't really want to play the strip mine necessarily because I need the forest to do Quirion Ranger tricks, but I have it ready for the opportunity, whenever the opportunity arises that I'm able to play the strip mine. Instead, I just go for Super Cradle Enhancement. Deranged Hermit. So this looks pretty good. Again, I can do the trick here. I could do it main phase to untap my Hermit, but since I can do it at any time, I might as well wait. I'd prefer not to pick up a land, of course. So that should end the beatdown. He plays Elder now. While Elder is a 3 cards for 1, it's not worth mana draining because 2 of the cards are land. So in terms of spells, it's one spell at random. So if the spell at random is bad, I don't need to mana drain it, and if it's good, I will. But there's a chance that the spell is bad, so I let Elder go because, I mean, I certainly don't care about extra lands on his side. And I'm not going to counter a 2/1 with this board position. If he drew 2 spells and 1 land, it would have been possible I would have countered it. More than likely, I still would have let it go. It would have had to have drawn 3 full spells for me to worry about. Like if, for example, he had a Scroll Rack in play. Anyhow. So since nothing happened, I go ahead and take a risk of dropping my mana drain shield so that I can Wayfarer. And he has a play. An excellent one. Dead Cradle. So probably one that he had to make. And so from here, I go and fetch. And not one that I saw coming. Anyway, so I go and fetch Workshop. And look how beautiful it is for me. Workshop's a recent addition. I was tuning this deck and realized that the utility of it is just too much. I pretty much come to the conclusion that if your deck cannot abuse Workshop, you didn't build your commander deck correctly. You need to go back to the drawing board and add enough artifacts to be able to abuse Workshop. I can't come up with any exceptions to that rule, really. Anyway, so look what happens. Yoink! The Sucktastic commander doing nothing over there suddenly sends me off to the races. So what am I doing? Well, I'm not standing up mana drain. Why not? Because he doesn't have any spells. So I just have to keep my fingers crossed and hope he doesn't top deck here, basically. The nice thing is I can play 3 lands a turn, so I can actually pick up my forest to untap my Hierarch to use my Wayfarer. And put 3 lands in my hand, which I can then play next turn thanks to my opponent's commander. Such a bad card. You know your commander's bad when it wins the game for your opponent. I didn't even care about Mutavault anymore. I killed Village because it, was a way to kill green, and I killed another forest as well for the same reason. So now, of course, I'm going to go back to leaving a counterspell up at all times. Anyway, I Demonic Tutor for Crucible because I think 3 Strip Mines a turn seems pretty reasonable. And actually, I probably shouldn't have played it there just because Crows and Grip exists. But at the same time, if he Crows and Grips the Crucible, then he didn't kill the Shackles, and I'm actually taking advantage of the Shackles right now, so I'm okay with however this works out. But no Crows and Grip for him. He gives up. And it looked like this deck was dominating the whole time, but just remember, my opponent had 7 mana on to my 2 or something. I went first turn Hierarch, second turn Tutor for mana drain, play my second land and say go. And that play made this whole game possible. So I hope you enjoyed the game. Let me show you the cleaned up deck list. If you've been watching the videos, this is working out much nicer for me. I took out some clunky cards. I added some more mana sources. I took out Oran Viper. I took out Shadow Mage Infiltrator because you don't need them, I don't think, when you have Sword of Fire, Ice, Edric, and lots of ways to go get them. I mean, lots of ways. You can Pod into them, you can Green Sun Zenith into them, you can Wargate into them, Imperial Seal, Demonic, Vampiric, all will go and get him. Pretty sure there are other ways to fetch him as well. well, you can certainly just draw them or draw lots of cards and find them. You can even natural order into them. That's the other one. I have done that. I've had the ranged hermit tokens everywhere and just killed one of them in order to get Edric and draw like 6 or 7 cards or whatever, instead of Terastodon. So, yeah, so what need for the singular card drawers when you have the master of all card drawing, and a singular card drawer here, and a card drawer here, and a card drawer here, etc., etc., etc. So I hope you enjoyed that game, and I hope you enjoyed this deck if you give it a try. Any suggestions on how to fit another mana artifact in here would be appreciated, because I'm looking at putting Lantern in the deck, and I don't know how to do it. So thanks. See you next time.